is Radio 2
on BBC Sounds
and on your smart speaker.
Play BBC Radio 2.
BBC News at 8 o'clock on Sunday, the 21st of May. Good morning, this is Claire Runacres. Rishi Sunak has pledged that the G7 will stand shoulder to shoulder with Ukraine. Opposition parties are calling for an investigation into the Home Secretary Suella Braverman, and a new rail timetable is being introduced across the UK today, with the biggest changes in the west of England. Rishi Sunak has told reporters that the G7 group of advanced economies stands shoulder to shoulder with Ukraine. He's been speaking at the end of a summit in Japan where President Zelensky's been addressing world leaders. The Prime Minister says that Ukrainian pilots will start to receive training on Western fighter jets this summer after President Biden said he would support plans to supply Kiev with American-made F-16 jets. Mr. Sunak says Ukraine's allies must ensure the war doesn't end in a frozen conflict.
I think those calling for peace, but really meaning a ceasefire, should recognise that that is not a just and durable peace. And I think that was recognised in the statement that was put out. A just and durable peace is one that should be based on the UN Charter about respect for territorial integrity, for sovereignty.
President Zelensky has appeared to confirm the loss of the eastern Ukrainian city of Bakhmut to Russian forces. At the G7, where he's been meeting President Biden, he answered, "I think no," when asked if it was in Kiev's control. He said there was little left of Bakhmut, which has been subject to a Russian onslaught for more than 9 months. Opposition parties are calling for an investigation into the Home Secretary Suella Braverman because of allegations she asked civil servants to help her avoid incurring points on her driving licence when she was caught speeding. A government source has told the BBC that an advisor was asked to organise a one-to-one speed awareness course instead. Ms Braverman denies any wrongdoing, and the Prime Minister says that while he hasn't spoken to Ms Braverman, he has confidence in her. Our political correspondent Ben Wright reports.
According to a government source, Miss Braverman wanted to know how a group in-person course would work, since she has a close protection team with her at all times. But the civil service said that this was nothing to do with them. At that point, as the Sunday Times reports, she asked her political advisor to try to arrange a one-on-one session with a course instructor. The source refused to say whether Miss Braverman's motivation was to reduce the chances of her being recognised by members of the public. The course provider said no. She decided she was too busy to do a course, paid the fine and accepted the points.
Labour says it would introduce shared waiting lists for hospitals in England if it wins the next general election. The party would allow neighbouring hospitals to collaborate and pool their resources and patients to choose where they're treated to reduce waiting times. Around 1 in 8 people in England is currently on an NHS waiting list. New rail timetables introduced today, including the full launch of the Elizabeth Line in London. The west of England will see some of the most significant changes, with a promised 5% increase in the number of daily train services. Our business correspondent Mark Ashdown has more.